Well, hello, good people. I hope you're doing fine this beautiful day and you are keeping safe wherever you are. These are hard times, and I believe everybody is keeping safe by washing your hands, having a mask, and basically making sure that you don't do unnecessary travel unless it's really important or is critical. This good evening, I would want us to look at things on a much more uh, detailed, on a detailed perspective. Just to try and analyze the situation that we have globally at the moment, and this is in regards to the COVID-19 on the effects of COVID-19 in the hospitality industry. Globally, hospitality industry is the most hit. Looking at the job losses and how many people have been rendered jobless just by the fact that hotels are now completely closed, and that is globally. And here in Africa, as you all know, uh, contribution to the GDP by the tourism and hospitality industry to the GDP is very significant. And the tourism and hospitality industry contribute quite a huge chunk to the gross domestic product in most of the African country. And for instance, here in Kenya, our hospitality industry contributes close to about 10% to the GDP, where this is a very huge amount and very huge figures from one industry sector. And it is by this that the hospitality industry and tourism is one of the biggest employers in the country as we speak. And so it stands to lose more with this pandemic that has really caught everybody unawares. Most of the people are saying we should have planned better, hotels should have planned better when it hit China and before it got to Africa. But uh, nobody saw it coming to Africa. And more so, nobody knew what this thing was a few months ago. Until now, people are doing research, scientists are working on it, and we are getting small details of this pandemic here and there, though still it has not really been properly defined. So it's from this issue whereby I find it important that we discuss on how the hotels will survive after the pandemic, because at the end of the day, this will end. The world has been having quite a number of pandemics, and most recent one actually was in 1918 with the Spanish flu, and it got to pass after some time. And right now, with the technology that we have, and knowledge that people have globally, we'll be able to beat this sooner than we think. And basically, I'm more optimistic on that. That definitely we will be able to beat this pandemic. So that leads me to the next question, which is uh, when this pandemic starts to end or when it starts to go down, what will the hotels do? In your hotel, do you have a strategy? Do you have a plan? What will you do to get back to business? Or will you just you know, just wait and see how things go day by day basis? Or will you plan ahead while we still have this pandemic going on? We have to look forward. We have to think futuristically. We have to look at things on long term. And I believe it is very important for hotel managers, hotel owners to plan beforehand. So when it ends, or when we have the news that it has been contained in Kenya, what will you do first? What will be your first steps? Now, looking at this situation, I got to ask myself quite some questions on how best it would be to have the perfect comeback and a perfect reopening with good numbers, good occupancy. As you know, Kenya currently right now is leading in terms of brand chains, global brands in Eastern Africa. Kenya currently has more than roughly about 68 global chains in Kenya as we speak today. And it is actually the second biggest after South Africa. So, for the small hotels, the Richters and Fosters, what will be the best plan for survival after the pandemic? Well, from my perspective, uh, it would be ideal. The first things to do would be to implement cost controls. You don't want to start with big expenditures while you're not sure of how many guests and how many clients you will have. How many clients, how many foreign clients will still travel since the pandemic will not end in one day. It will be a process which probably will be 3, 4, 5, or even 6 months until the industry recovers fully. So, in that particular time, who will be your client? How will you be able to appease this client to come to your hotel? And how would you properly manage your operations profitably? As I said, number one, from my perspective, will be implement cost controls. The second thing I think would really be able to assist hotels is to adapt technology on automation. If you have not been automated, that is room keys, room cards, that is POS, point of sale systems, HMS, the whole hotel management system, have it installed in your hotel. Automated check-ins for the guests and also for the staff. Technology makes everything easier, makes your job easier, makes everything run smoothly. So if you have not automated your operation, you need to start thinking about it. The third thing I think would really help the hospitality industry would be staff training. The staff will need some refresher courses. Well, you can do it in house. You can invite a consultant like Profitable Hospitality Kenya and others. With the training, your employees will be trained on how best to adapt and also blend in with your cost control measures. Because for the operation to move as one, all heads needs to be together. The team needs to understand what the situation is, where the hotel is headed, what is the strategy to recover, and what is the ultimate goal. And with this will make the hotel move on in a much smoother way. So all the staff have to be trained. Uh, the fourth thing that I think would really help hotels would be reputation management. There are hotels right now that have been used as quarantine quarantine centers, and most of the guests, local markets, most probably, will be afraid to visit these places for the first 3 or 4 months, for the fear, because of the fear of the disease and all of that. Well, there will be a little bit of marginalization. Uh, there will be a little bit of stigma here and there, but in 3 or 4 months, it will be a thing of the past. As you know, Kenyans, we forget too quickly and we move too quickly, which is an advantage at one point. So, I think reputation management would help a great deal to help the hotel recover. And this can be done by online campaign, marketing campaign online, good CSR, good CSR, and new strategy on dealing with the community in a much smoother and much better way. And if your hotel has been having a good reputation before the pandemic, it will be vital that you pick up from where you left and even make it better than it was. Reevaluate, get to look at what more you can do for the community, what more you can do for the Kenyans, what more you can offer, what more value you can give, and without changing your prices. Now, the fifth thing that I think will help hotels after this pandemic will be what I think could have started but can be number 5, would be cleanliness and hygiene in the premises. Hotels used to fumigate once a year. You might be having a camp in the Masai Mara. You might be having a hotel a little bit far off whereby you think the health officials will not be able to visit your hotel. Or if they come once in a blue moon or never. This will be critical to your establishment, that you observe cleanliness, fumigate as more times as possible, disinfect the whole premises as often as possible until the whole world is announced as COVID-19 free, or the pandemic has been controlled 100%. So this also has to lead to new ways of new hygiene ways, new ways of cleaning being thorough than just tip top here and there. This will be vital. As also after we recover from the pandemic, the guests and the clients would really be focused on the hygiene aspect and the cleanliness. So we should not look at the sanitizers as a thing of for the pandemic only, and after that you throw it away and you get rid of it. No, this has to stay. The sanitizers has to stay, and this goes mostly to the baristas, the restaurants. This will be the most affected, and sanitizers should be a thing that goes on and continues even after the pandemic is controlled. And this will be for the betterment and for the good of the hotel or the restaurant. And this will lift your reputation. Number 6 that I think can help the hotels would be to start off, for those that have closed, for those that will be reopening, it will be best to start on low season rates or a low season strategy. Well, what do I mean by this? Since most of the hotels will be opening at the same time after the pandemic, this will lead to a lot of rooms being available to any willing client, and that client who's ready to travel. And of course, definitely we will have a rush. If by, let's say, by around August or September, this will be controlled in Kenya, definitely we might have a rush. And we might have great numbers coming in. And after this, definitely most of the hotels will be open and there will be a lot of rooms available, which will make most of the hotels offer, discounted rates so that now they can start recovering. So this calls for a low season strategy, whereby your hotel will be able to attract more guests. So you need to establish a strategy that will be able to be profitable for the establishment and for the owners, and also give value to the guests, knowing very well that the world is just recovering from the pandemic. So the last thing that I think, or rather the last but not least item that I think might be able to help any hotel, generally speaking, will be to re-evaluate the whole strategy plan for the year or for the coming year. You have to re-evaluate. Don't open your hotel with plans that were laid before the pandemic. You have to become creative. You have to become more creative on how you approach the after pandemic. So many things will have changed. The guests will have changed. Guest demands will have changed also. Meaning the guests will look things at much more critical and detailed form. The guests will be more thorough on cleanliness, hygiene. This is one area that I think the guests will really be focused on. So it's time to get rid of those unhygienic ways that can get people sick, and now start afresh. Hotels need to look at this as, you know, another opportunity to start afresh. So let's hope this ends. Let's hope it ends as soon as possible. I have been informed that Airbnb just revised their profitability, and things are not looking good at the moment as we speak. Since, as you know, most of the hotels are still not getting any clients, since most of the people are stuck wherever they are. Another critical aspect that I think we would also look at, and it will be important to look at this particular time, is that once the pandemic ends, it will take some time before the foreign clients get here. People will still be cautious. And in that particular period, the best bet will be the local client. The local guest will be the only means of survival for the hotels. So, whatever will be your strategy, whatever will be your plan, you need to start it with the local market. Best rates, best value, more choices, good menu, better customer service. This will be critical when this ends, when the pandemic ends. So you need to understand what the local client wants, what the local client requires is what the hotel managers, hotel operation managers need to understand first before you open those doors. And as you saw back in 2013, even after the post-election violence, we all went back to the local market. When the advisories were given, the local market was the hope. And of course, the Kenyans never let hotels down. Kenyans started traveling. Though the rates were low, yes, give or take, but they sustained the hospitality industry until the advisories were lifted, until we had the foreign clients coming in. So as you go to open, as we wait for the pandemic to end, you need to plan. As the hotel manager, as the hotel owner, you need to plan. As we advise our clients, it's good to plan early. Be some steps ahead. Think ahead. Think futuristically. And definitely by the time you open those doors, you'll have a good strategy a good plan that will make your business be more profitable, be a good working space for the employees, and definitely the guests will be happy and more customers will be coming to you. So, once again, I would like to thank everybody for watching this from Profitable Hospitality Kenya. And in case you're stuck, you don't know where to start, you don't know what kind of a strategy to come up with, or you want to perfect that plan, or you want to start that hotel, talk to us at Profitable Hospitality Kenya and we'll be able to assist you start on the best foot. So once again, I want to thank you. And in the coming few days, definitely we'll do some more videos to try and focus on more issues that are affecting the hospitality and the tourism sector. So I thank you, and thank you for watching, and I see you soon. Have a good evening.